What's up, everyone? This is Leon, the Paperback Maniac. Hope you all have had a good weekend. And I gotta admit, my weekend has been pretty dope. Pretty dope. I saw some cool movies. Friday, finally got around to watching The Killing of a Sacred Deer. My buddy Phil in South Korea had recommended it to me a while back, and I just never got around to it. And he just kept texting me and reminding me about it. And so finally, Friday night, bought the bullet and watched it on VOD. And really enjoyed it, actually. Definitely not a movie for everyone. It's pretty deliberately paced and almost cold in its execution. I thought kind of had a very Kubrickian aesthetic, which I dug. But yeah, it was really intense, I thought. And definitely illustrates the fact that sometimes parents do choose favorites. So I enjoyed that. And then Saturday was kind of a rainy day here in Orange County, which I don't mind. I mean, we don't get enough rain here. But I did a little work from home in the morning. And then I saw another movie. I actually went to the theater and checked out a new movie called Thoroughbreds, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I thought it was a blast and very well done. I think that's a movie that will probably stand the test of time, and definitely a cult movie in the making. It definitely has the feel of a cult film. But I would encourage you guys, if that's playing in your area, to look into it. Actually, speaking of movies today, I also saw another movie. I went batshit, apeshit this weekend. I saw the new Stranger sequel, Pray at Night, because I'd heard some good things about it. And, it was okay. It was good, actually. It was entertaining. Actually, in many ways, I felt like it improved upon aspects of the original, kept a lot of the tension and suspense, but left out a little bit of the nihilism and unremitting bleakness. I didn't want to hang myself after I exited the theater, which is, the first one kind of screwed me up a little bit too. I have something about home invasion, like that's a subgenre I don't really like that much. It's just, it's too scary, really. Like I can deal with werewolves and goblins and monsters, but home invasion is just a little too real, and it kind of makes me uncomfortable. But this one was done with a light, deft touch, and it was pretty fun. But probably the coolest part about the weekend, and the thing that concerns you folks in this video, is that I did a book haul yesterday. I actually I hadn't planned on it, but how these things work. I just spontaneously decided, hey, it's been a while. Check out the bookstore, see what they got. So I went to two places. The first place I went to was the Book Junction. I think I talked about them in a previous haul video. They're in Huntington Beach, and I got a few things from them. So without further ado, I'll show you my books from Book Junction. So the first one is Sleepwalker by David Combs. This book was published by Avon in 1983, and I really dig that cover. It's kind of simple, but very, very effective. Very kind of got a lot of atmosphere there for such a simple cover. But I'm excited to check this one out. Okay, the next one I got was The Visitor by Jerry Cunningham. This book was published by Berkeley in 1977. Though it was originally published, looks like, by St. Martin's Press in 1978. That is a creepy ass cover. And I've actually heard good things about this one, and I'm really excited to check it out. Okay, the next one we got is When Shadows Fall. This is written by Brian Scott Smith and published by Leisure in 1997. This is apparently Halloween horror, which is cool. I'm a big sucker for all things Halloween, so figured I'd give this one a shot. Maybe I'll read this one in October. I'm kind of planning like an October reading list. I'd like to just read a bunch of fun Halloween themed books that month. So maybe this will work its way in there. We'll see. Okay, next one we got is Voodoo Drums by Veronica Lee. Never heard of this book. This is a perfect example of why I love to actually walk into a brick and mortar bookstore, because you never know what you're going to come away with. And, this is quite old. This one is this was published by Manor Books in 1976. And what a beautiful vintagey cover there. This looks really cool. And, I'm eager to see what this is all about at some point. Okay, the next one we got is Flesh and Blood by D.A. Fowler, Deborah Fowler. This was published by Pocket in 1993, and if I'm not mistaken, this finishes my Deborah Fowler collection. I've been collecting her stuff for a period of time now. Have not read any of her books yet, but I have a feeling I'm going to love them, and I think I'm going to be getting to her very, very soon. Possibly starting up, with my next book being one of hers. So keep an eye out for a Deborah Fowler review coming very soon. And the last one I got from Book Junction is Little Brother by John McNeill. This book was published by New English Library in 1984, though it looks like it was originally published in 1983. Another example of a book that I had never heard about and would never even think to buy if I hadn't, seen it in a bookshop. Another reason why I'm just such a huge proponent of going into bookshops without any sort of expectations and hunting and finding cool stuff like this. I mean, this just looks amazing. I can't wait to read this thing. So those were the books I got from Book Junction in Huntington Beach. Then I went to my good old trusty Bookman in the city of Orange, California. They never let me down, and I picked up a few things from them. So the first thing I got from Bookman is Wild Violets by Ruth Baker Field. This book was published by Zebra in 1980. This is one of Zebra's earlier titles, and I've heard good things about this one. I hear it's pretty intense, as pretty just crazy as a lot of Zebra stuff can be. But looking forward to checking this one out soon. And then next up, I got Monster by Randall Boyle. This was published by Berkeley in 1991. Randall Boyle was kind of known as the novelization guy. He actually wrote a number of novelizations, like he did like the movie tie-ins for Darkman and Demon Knight and a couple others. But this is one of his original novels, and I'm curious to see what that's all about. Hopefully I can get to it soon. Okay, next up, we've got The Great and Secret Show by Clive Barker. This is a book that I've actually owned this same edition before. It's one of the many books I have boxed up in Columbus, Ohio. Probably will never see those again, so I just figured I saw this in pretty good condition and snatched it up. This edition was published by Harper in 1990. It was originally published in 1989. This is one, I have not read this one yet. I'm a big Clive Barker fan. Obviously, I love the Books of Blood. Love the Damnation Game. When I was first kind of getting back into horror, after, just many years of not reading any horror, the Damnation Game and the Books of Blood were some that just really just gripped me and made me aware that horror is very worthwhile to read. And this one I hear is just freaking insane. I hear this is just, it's fantasy. It's a fantasy horror novel, more fantasy than horror, but it sounds amazing. And this is one, I mean, it's a thick ass book. But I'm looking forward. Maybe over the summer I'll just dive into this and just, lose myself in that world. Gotta love Clive Barker. Okay, next up, we got The Night Church by Whitley Strieber. This book was published by Pocket in 1984, though it looks like it was originally published in 1983. I have not read any Whitley Strieber yet. I have his book Cat Magic, which I'll probably read first. That one seems like a whole lot of fun. But I've heard good things about this as well. So I'm definitely curious and looking forward to checking out Whitley Strieber's stuff. Okay, we got two more here. Next up is Excavation by Steve Raznick-Tem. This book was published by Avon in 1987. And this book was actually nominated for Best First Novel the first year of the Bram Stoker Awards in 1987. It was in that category along with books like the aforementioned Damnation Game and what else I had written? Oh, and Slob by Rex Miller, which I also enjoyed. And the winner that year was a book called The Manse by Lisa Cantrell, which kind of confounds me. I read that book last Halloween, and it's beautifully written. Lisa Cantrell is a good writer when it comes to like prose, but I don't know. It was a little. It lacked something. It just wasn't altogether very satisfying. I have her follow-up to that one, Torments, which I'll probably read, well, which I am planning on reading next Halloween, or next October for Halloween. Hopefully that one will be a little better. But yeah, I was a little surprised, like, how the hell did that book, The Manse, win out over the Damnation Game? I mean, that's the one that should have won. But this was also nominated, and I've heard, some good things about it. Looking forward to checking this out. And the final one that I got from Bookman is Blood of the Children by Alan Rogers. And this book was published by Bantam in 1989. And I've heard good things about this as well. And it's a pretty cool cover. And anything with evil kids in it, you count me in. That's one of those subgenres. Unlike Home Invasion, it's one of the subgenres that I do like. Definitely looking forward to reading that one. So, that is my little weekend haul. Again, I went to Book Junction in Huntington Beach and then Bookman in Orange. Hope you guys enjoyed watching that. If you've read any of these books and want to comment, definitely let me know what you thought about them. And if you like this video, don't forget to like it, share it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Keep an eye out for more reviews. Hopefully, I'll have my next book review up next weekend. This book I'm reading, I've been reading it this weekend. It is cheesy as hell, but it's pretty fun. So that should be an interesting review. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. Have a great week. We'll catch you later. Peace out.